Thank you, my friend Enrico, for this kind invitation and for the best topic of the session, too. So, is robotic the end of conventional navigation? It would be super boring to say no, so I will make the case that yes, robotic, it's not only the end of conventional navigation, but also the end of conventional surgeons. But it's not a threat to our job. It's an opportunity to free ourselves for some of the burden of the manual work and to free also time for do the task in which we add more value. Well, I have a conflict of interest in this lecture, so you don't have to believe everything I said. And I will make my case on the basis of the technicalities. So conventional navigation is a reference in the patient, reference in the tool, and a camera that is taking 50 to 300 pictures a second, as long as it is not obstructed by something. For spine surgery, it represented a very important progress as compared with the freehand technique, and it was nicely shown by Florian. It reduces the rate of misplacement of pedicular screws from 20% to about 2%. It is also a combination of the navigation technique and the advanced intraoperative imaging devices, too, both of them. It is important to notice that usually the precision of the system is measured as the position of the screw inside the pedicle. But I brought you this example of a regular case that shows that although the screw is precisely way placed into the pedicle, the offset with the intended trajectory or of the ideal situation of the pedicle is significant. I'm not suggesting by any means that this has some clinical relevance, but it would be important in the incorporation of new functionalities or new tasks that require more precision in the future. So the system is taking a lot of pictures, the camera, and is computed all this huge amount of information and is producing a spatial location. And the inaccuracies could be attributed to many issues, but the main of them are the distance of the camera to the references, the possibility of obstructions, the computing issues and computing speed, and also the pressure that the surgeon through the tools applied into the spine, that Professor Meyer showed very nicely. So every displacement of the target in relation to the reference is a significant source of inaccuracy. So it's the distance to the camera, are the obstructions, the computer speed, and the uncoupled displacement of target and reference. And now all these inaccuracies are related to optical tracking. Optical tracking is the source of the evils of all inaccuracies in navigation. That's for conventional navigation. Now we look at the robotic systems that they are available nowadays for the surgeons to use. They are all at some point the same. They are a conventional navigation system plus a robotic trajectory finder and holder. That's it. All of them are the same. But they have some differences. And I will name three, which are, I think, the most widely adopted. One is the modular Brainland system. It is a mixed passive and active trajectory finder and holder that is integrated in the conventional navigation system. This is another one. This is the integration of, again, a trajectory finder and holder that was developed by another company, integrated on the Medtronic conventional navigation. It's interesting enough, they have not one camera, but two cameras. So I asked, why the second camera? And apparently, it is just like a vestige from the previous development in another company. Then we have this third robot, the Excelsior GPS, that is different because it has a separate card that will add more stability to the system. Both the BrainLab and this one can be used both for spine and brain. But we think that this old system based on optic navigation has a big problem of scalability when we are thinking of asking the robot to do something else, not only to give us a trajectory and a strong holder, but to do more things. For example, to do laminectomies or osteotomies. So we have to think about the future and our relationship to the robot. This is a current situation, which is a collaboration between the robot and the surgeon. And the surgeon, the human surgeon, is in charge of everything. But this is probably going to evolve either to a telemanipulation situation, like the Da Vinci robot, or toward progressive automation. And my money is on this one. My money is on the progressive development of the robot toward full automation. Full automation means that the surgeon is separated from the surgery in time and space. And during surgery, we have only supervision. So the optical system is well adapted to the first situation, to the collaborative situation, but we think that it is ill-equipped for the future development towards automation. So could we do without the optical tracking? We could, and that is the idea, to get rid of the camera. How do we do that? How do we track the patient? If you look at this, it's a little active arm and a passive arm. This second little arm that is attached to the spine works like the proprioception in the human body. It is equipped with 3 joints, and the 3 joints have devices to measure the position. So it will give, through the position of the joints, a location for a robot. So with this system, we get rid of all the limitation of the optical system. I'm going to show you in the early phase how we were testing this in the cadaver lab. So you see that it is attached to the spine, and if I move the patient, the robot will immediately track. So the precision was really good in the preclinical trials, and we went on and make the clinical trials. And again, we achieved high precision not only in relation to the pedicle, but in relation to the pre-planned position of the screw. So to end, we have the systems based on optical tracking that are perfectly equipped for situations like collaborative, when the surgeon is still in charge of the procedure, but we think that it has a big problem for scalability toward other functions and toward automation. So to the left is a car factory 100 years ago. It looks more like our OR nowadays, and to the right is right now. You see no people there, but actually there are more people working in the car factories now than 100 years ago. So we shouldn't lose hope. So nowadays, I think that many techniques are living together in many ORs. We still do freehand navigation, and robotic is coming. So it's a progressive evolution. So nobody knows the future, but like once in 20 years, we have like a leap in spine surgery, although progress is constant. So we went from non-instrumenting to freehand to navigation, now robotic, and who knows the future. But I think that it will be automation. So Enrico asked me, is robotic the end of conventional navigation? And I answer, who knows? You can be certain about the future, of course. But I have made my case for a possible progress toward full automation of spinal surgery. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Nico, for the inspiring presentations about the alternative to camera tracking-based robotics and navigation. Is there any question from the audience to Nicolas Sampron? Here? Bernard, please. No, I don't see anyone standing. Please, go ahead.
I personally think, without any harm, but the question is wrong, because you can't have robotics fully automated without a functioning navigation. How would your robot know where to go?
Well, I just explained that you have a system that will give you as an input the precise location of the anatomy.
But
you need to see because you're poor human. But robots,
yeah,
they see in other
That's what I'm
manners.
saying. I'm human. I can see where the patient lies and where his anatomy is. I can feel the difference between bone and soft tissue, and the robot can't do that. None of them. So a robot needs, for a very, very long time, very good navigation systems to tell him where to work.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, the robot is useless. Even if he's perfect, which is far away, light years away from being it. As long as it's not tactile, it will never have not even a semi-automated fashion. So I'm sorry to say that. Without navigation, it won't be working.
In fact, when Nicolas mentioned that, the first thing that came to mind was the Tesla-driven cars, which are automatic, crashing everywhere.
Cars?
Yes.
Yeah,
which are fully automatic.
Industrial robots can do that.
Yeah.
But that's a situation which is always exactly the same, as opposed to doing a surgery, which is not always the same. That's the difference.
That's exactly what our next questioner from the audience is asking. He says, for car building, the car doesn't have dura and nerves inside it. Would that make a difference?
What, excuse me.
Yeah. Go on.
No, I mean, the question, and it's a good question to end up the session, is for car building. The cars, they don't have dura, mater, and nerves inside. So
well, there is
it would make it a difference. Though.
No, I mean, Professor Meyer is right, as usual. Cars are, every car is alike the other. but patients are unique,
Yeah.
of course. That's why the automation that I envision has a surgeon there, because it's like you are building a different car for every case. I guess you put a kind of blueprint inside the robot to make many cars the same. But for surgery, it will be a blueprint for every single patient. That's why you will still need a surgeon. It's like a radio surgeon.
That's what
Probably
I'm
you don't
saying.
need a driver anymore, but you need a surgeon. Okay, this is the conclusion.
Yeah, don't worry. We still will have jobs.
I'm doing a lot of research on that, so I think I know what I'm talking about. Just to give a perspective, in the car industry, the guy who comes to work checks the facility he's responsible of, walks out of it, pushes a button, and then the work starts. Okay, robots are assembling parts, let it be motor, the engine, or whatever. The equivalent of what a surgical robot is able to do nowadays is he takes you as a surgeon, puts you in front of the patient and says, work. So, and before you turn that around, you said 20 years, that's going to be more than 20 years, because the capabilities of the industrial robots are basically almost good enough to be acting as surgical robots. But there are a lot of safety issues why they are not allowed to.
Correct.
This alone will take 10 years to overcome this.
I think hopefully in EUROSPINE 2034 we might have a different talk about this. Thank you very much. I thank all the speakers for their time, and I thank the audience. Thank you very much, everyone.